Hi Virgo, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective finance reading. Now, as it is collective, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find any messages in this for yourself, then please check out your other placements where you're likely to find a message in there. If you do like your messages today, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed already, then don't forget to hit that subscription button. It will help pass them. And if you press the notification bell, it will let you know when I do post new content. Now, there are also playlists on my page, so you can check out those at any point. All readings are timeless, with the exception of the monthly readings, but even still, if you come across a monthly one and you feel it resonates for you, then it is still for you. So let's get more cards for your reading. Spirit, can we get 2 more cards, please, for Virgo, for their current financial situation? Now, as always, this is simply a message from Spirit on what could help you improve your finances. Okay, so your overall energy, we have the 2 of Cups. Now, that 2 of Cups is telling me that you are looking to double your money. You're trying to increase what you've got, whether that is from a new job, maybe you are looking to invest, but you're very much trying to make your money double. You're trying to make it stretch, you're trying to increase however much you've got left over at the end of the month. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're trying to double your income. It could just be that you're trying to double whatever it is you've got left over as, extra spending money, especially this time of the year. Let's face it, we're all looking at how we can trim down, ready for the holiday season, to buy all those lovely gifts that now cost an arm and a leg. So yeah, completely understandable. But it could just be simply that you are trying to look for another job. Maybe you want to get maybe you're looking for a better pay rise. But yeah, definitely something where you're trying to maximize your income, potentially doubling it. Now, in your current situation, we have an Ace of Wands. This is telling me that you feel like you have to work hard for your money. You're very aware that you have to make money work for you as well. So you could be doing a lot of shifts at work. Maybe you're doing some overtime. Maybe you are working really, really hard on a course, knowing that once you've done it, it's going to pay off and you'll be able to go for bigger paying jobs. Maybe you are at home working for yourself, making sure that you've got all of the products that you need to sell ready for that, that big, I suppose ready for in the next couple of weeks when things start getting sold, ready for the holidays. But you're very much aware that things are, you do need to work hard, and you're trying to make your money work for you as well. So you're very aware that it takes a lot of hard work to sit and manage your finances, and you're trying to make them work as best for you as possible. Right, let's get some clarification. So can we get 1 more card for clarification, please, Spirit? Thank you. So the first card that popped out, then we had the Sun card. Now that has come out in the reverse. The Sun card is very much suggesting that you're not particularly confident that you'll get what it is that you want. You are aware that you need confidence and enthusiasm, but it may be lacking some self-confidence with your abilities to increase your finances. Maybe you feel like you're not quite getting what it is that you want, but you are trying your hardest to do that. You're trying to build it together. We have the 10 of Swords that come out to the side. It's telling me that you are trying your hardest not to become obsessed with making money. So maybe it's something where you're working really, really hard. Maybe you've got kids, but you feel like, you're putting all your time into work and you're trying your hardest not to work too hard, because at the end of the day, yes, you're trying to double your money, but you need to be able to enjoy your life at the same time. You're very aware that money doesn't bring you happiness as well. So you are trying to make sure that you are balancing out your work-home life. Very much trying to make sure that you are getting that happiness that you deserve. And then we have the Tower. So the Tower's telling me that you are trying to make sure that any kind of investments that you're making, you are making sure that you look it up fully. You're making sure that you're doing your research. So whether that is from buying something, you're sitting researching it to make sure you're getting your money's worth, whether it's worth it, whether that is going through your contracts that you've got and you're making sure that you've got the right contract. To if you are self-employed, maybe you are doing a lot of market research to see what kind of products will sell. It could be any number of things, but it is telling me very much that you are very much making sure that anything you invest into has got a solid foundation so that it doesn't crumble and fall and you don't end up losing out more money. Now, in your challenge position, we have a Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is telling me that sometimes it is a challenge for you to get clarity on something before you do invest into it. There could be a number of reasons behind that. Here, you're making sure that you've got clarity. So there is something coming up that will be a bit of a challenge where you're not able to get the clarity that you want. So let's find out a little bit more about that. Can we get some clarification on this Queen of Swords, please, Spirit? Okay, that's a lot of cards, but we'll take them. So the first one out then, we've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is saying that whatever it is that you're trying to be convinced into, whatever this investment is, I think it's more of an investment of your energy, because it's saying your money's never going to be an issue. It might not be an investment of energy, it might be an investment of funds, and it's very much saying that, you know, you're being convinced that you'll get a good return on it potentially, and that money's never going to cause you an issue. You'll be well off. Yeah, very much suggesting that you're going to be really good with whatever it is that you put into. Now, it could be that money is not an issue for you already, so you don't know whether you need to look at those investments. But I feel like this is more that someone's trying to convince you that you're going to have a big payoff. We also have a Page of Wands. This is telling me that you may potentially be looking at some sort of trip. Maybe this investment is going to involve some sort of traveling, some sort of trip. And I'm not going to lie, if you were a Virgo like me, you're currently looking at all the different Christmas markets and planning which ones you want to go to. So you could very well be putting into trips. Now, I'm not going to lie, I haven't been looking into things. I've just been going, oh, where can I go and how much is it going to cost? Not been researching it. I haven't put anything down yet either, which is good. But, you know, if you're anything like me, you're probably planning for pumpkin picking trips, trips for the new year, trips for the Christmas, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. You know, there's lots of holidays around this time of year, so very much potentially planning trips there. Thinking money's not going to be an issue, but you're not really looking it up to actually see whether it will be an issue as well. Could be a potential problem there. We then have a Three of Pentacles. Now that's in the reverse. It's suggesting that you will be a little bit stressed because of a lack of funds. So where you're feeling that your money's not an issue, maybe you're going to go on a trip, but it's then going to cause you some stress because you didn't really look it up. You may overspend on that trip potentially. It could just be that you feel like you're restricted with what you can do because you've got a lack of funds and you don't want money to be an issue. We have an Ace of Cups. So there is a new opportunity that's being offered. Again, this could be something that you need to be diving into and looking into. And it could be very much why you're feeling, you know, money's not an issue. Maybe you feel like things are really tight. Then this offer comes in and you feel, oh, actually, yeah, it's really good for me, but you're not fully looking into it. We have the King of Pentacles as well, which is telling you that you need to make sure that you are taking care of your finances. in order to get what it is that you actually want from life. Potentially this could be that you might need to look into where your spending habits are going, especially if you're going on a shopping trip. You may feel like it doesn't matter, you don't need much money, but then you overspend. You find that you've got no money, then you see a new opportunity coming in to make money, and you really need to look at what you're spending, could very much be to do with that. It could simply be maybe you're planning a holiday, but you're not looking it up, you're not checking out whether or not it's going to be the best value holiday for you. You could be missing a few things around it as well. Maybe there's certain things going on within that district so you can't potentially travel when you're planning to. Maybe there's outbreaks of COVID. Maybe there could be a number of things that could cause you some issues when you go on holiday. And let's face it, a lot of us don't like looking into that sort of stuff. We just want to go on holiday, so we book a holiday somewhere nice. We don't look at some of the stuff that's going on in the country at the time when you book it. So it could be something as simple as that. But it is suggesting that you feel like money's not an issue, then you plan something, and then you realise that actually you don't have the money that you thought you were going to have. And this all stems down to not actually looking, not investigating things, not thoroughly considering something. It's like you decide to do an impulse trip. Maybe you feel like you need to get out for your sanity. But yeah, it's definitely suggesting to me that you're going to plan, you're going to do something and then potentially regret it. So obviously this is a challenge. So, trying to avoid jumping head first into things that seem like they're going to be really good, making sure that you're looking into it fully, making sure that you can finance it, and that you have that budget where if you set your minimum budget and then you have a bit of a gap, and then don't go over that maximum budget. Make sure that you've got enough money to last you until your next lot of money comes in, sort of thing. Make sure that you're planning it out properly. Now, what you can do to help, we have this Four of Pentacles. Now, this is telling me that you need to remember what is important in life and stop worrying about any losses that you may have incurred. So if you don't manage to avoid this challenge, then it's very much that you need to stop dwelling on the losses and start thinking about what is it that actually makes you happy. Yes, you may have lost out on some money, but did it make you happy at the time? Was it something that's created a good memory? Is it something you can feel good looking back at, kind of thing? If it's something where you feel that, how to put it? If you feel that you're going to be lonely now because you've got no money, again, it's making sure that you're understanding that it's not money that brings you happiness. It's not money that brings you people around you. It's you do that. It's not the money. And if it's money that people are coming towards you for, then they're not people worth being around you. Right, so we have the Lovers card to clarify. Now, that Lovers is very much saying that you need to make sure that you're looking at all the opportunities that are coming in front of you before you make a decision. So that could relate to this new earning opportunity, whatever this Ace of Cups is. It will obviously relate to any sort of trip that you're considering. It will relate to everything. So anything you're looking at spending money on that's new, it is very much suggesting you need to make sure that you are looking at all the opportunities. You need to make sure that you are evaluating them. You are putting enough thought into it before taking that opportunity. We have the Justice card. And Justice is very much telling me that you may feel like the certain opportunities you come across are a little bit risky as well. So you need anything that you feel has got a little bit too much risk, you need to make sure that you're doing all your planning behind it, evaluating it fully. Is it something that you want? Is it something that's going to serve you? Is it going to be something that benefits you in the long run? And actually sit and work it out. And it might be that you actually have to do some serious maths as well. especially if it's something where you're going to have to put in money. If it's something like you're looking at buying a house, maybe that's what this travelling is. Maybe you're looking at moving and buying a house, but you might not get the best mortgage. You might just jump in straight first and get the first mortgage you can think of. But you've not considered the mortgage rates, you've not considered what you've got to pay every month, you've not considered, what it's going to do to you long term. And it could just be something as simple as if you moved to a slightly different area, you'd have got a very similar house, but it might have been a lot cheaper. So, making sure that you are evaluating all things that you're spending money on before you're actually getting them. Making sure that you're not risking certain things. I mean, it could even be something as simple as, let's put it this way, if maybe you're on a diet and you decide you want to go out for a meal, and that high risk thing, because it is an opportunity for you to do something, it could be simply that you decide you're going to have a pudding, and it could be something as simple as, is that going to do you any good in the long run? Are you going to ruin your diet? Are you going to achieve your goal that you want to achieve before you get there? And that could be something that you would consider as high risk. And let's face it, some people are very much like that. Some people do like to control what they can control. And certain things like that, especially if it's something you've not ordered and they've just put it in front of you, you've got to take that risk. Do you want to eat it? Don't you want to eat it? What's it going to do to you if you do eat it? And there's a lot of people out there with, medical conditions that can't have sugar, can't have glucose. And it's very much high risk if they decide to put something in their mouth that, they shouldn't, because it can cause all sorts of issues. So it doesn't necessarily just involve big things. It can be little things as well that the vast majority of the population wouldn't consider as high risk, but to you consider it as high risk. Now, we do also have the judgment card. Now, that's come out to the side. That's suggesting to me that finances will get better, but you need to be very careful. And the reason for that is that you need to make sure you're not spending more than you're earning. You need to make sure that you are considering things fully. If you're spending more than what you're earning, finances are not going to improve for you. If you're not managing your finances and checking out where you're spending your money, again, finances are not going to improve for you. This is telling me that this is going to be a big challenge to you. Maybe you like to spend money. And it could very well be that this is where this whole financial loss, booking trips in potentially, it could be something where you've done something on impulse and then you've realised, I've not really got the money for that. I can't spend as much as I'd like to on that. But it's saying that as long as you spend only what you've got and don't overspend, things will be, okay. Now, it could very well be that you have got a history of overspending as well. Maybe you've got debts that you've got to pay, and this could very well be that you need to cut back that little bit more than what you've just got coming in, because let's face it, if you've spending and you're paying debts, you've got to pay out more than what you've got coming in, haven't you? So not necessarily paying out more than what you've got coming in, but you've got to pay those debts off. So you can't spend everything you've got coming in because you've got bills to pay too. So make sure you're including those bills, those debts, potential increases in those debts as well. Because let's face it, if you increase your spending habits, if you put more on credit cards or get a loan, you've still got to pay that out as well. So making sure that you're doing your calculations to work out, is it worth increasing your monthly repayments? Can you afford it at the end of the day? So we all know that, let's face it, certain holidays are coming up where you end up spending lots of money, and I believe it's supposed to be a third of people put lots of gifts on credit cards. Is it something where you can afford the repayments? Is it something where that you can hit a certain limit and that will be the amount of repayments you can afford? So it's making sure that you can sit and work out and understand where it is that you need to be paying things out to, because otherwise it's not just going to be for 1 month. This is going to be something that's ongoing, and that's the way that it's going to help, and it's going to improve your finances. It's something that you need to maintain and not just consider it just for the month that you come across this reading. Now, if you manage to go through this help and you navigate this challenge well, we do have the Eight of Pentacles as well as the outcome. So the Eight of Pentacles there is saying that, you will be recognised for your efforts. It may be a bit of a challenge for that to happen. Potentially certain efforts of yours, it might be that you feel that it should come in earlier. Maybe you want that recognition to pay off quicker, and that could be why it's a bit of a challenge. But it is saying that you will get that recognition. It could be that you don't, as well, with it being in a challenge position, it could be that you feel like it's not there, but you can't see the recognition at the minute. Maybe you've already got that recognition that you're trying hard, but it's not being expressed to you. It's not being verbally communicated. You can't see it. It's not, maybe you've got people around you, family, friends, that are very appreciative for everything you do, but nobody ever communicates it. But they appreciate it, but they're not telling you they appreciate it. So you don't feel like you're being recognised, but you are actually being recognised. Can we get one more card, please, Spirit, to clarify? Thank you. So we have a Page of Cups. Now, this is telling me that you don't need to have all the answers. So maybe you like to have a lot of answers where finance is concerned. Maybe you like to know where you're going, where your money's going, how long it's going to take you to save up for a certain thing. This is telling me you don't need to know. It doesn't matter. And that could, again, be why it's quite challenging to you, because if you don't know where you're going, how do you know whether you're going to have the recognition? Or, how do you know if you've been recognised if you don't know what it is that you're doing? Not so much that you don't know what you're doing, but you don't know what your outcome is. And let's face it, lots of us Virgos like to plan things. We like to know what's going on, when things are happening and everything else. So not knowing or not having the answers to something can be quite challenging to people. Now, it could just be simply that where you feel like you're not being recognised is purely because you don't know or you can't see it. Because this Page of Cups, it's not knowing. When he's coming out, it's a challenge to understand that you don't have the answers. So here you're expecting to have those answers. You want to be seen as being recognised, as putting in the effort, but you can't see it, so you don't know. You don't know it's there. You don't know that you're being recognised. It's all going on in the background, but it's fine to not know. And it could be really, really challenging for you, because it's nice to know that you're being recognised, and if you don't know, it can make you a little bit wobbly sometimes. We do have a King of Cups. Again, telling you to make sure that you're managing your funds, staying on top of them in order to get what it is that you dream about. So very much making sure that you continue to look at your incomings, your outgoings, making sure that it's, something that you're checking out over the long term, not just something that is short and quick. And we then have the Hierophant as well, who is basically just reaffirming the same as the King of Cups. Very much making sure that you're managing your resources, but it's also making sure that anything spare that you do have, not necessarily in money, but energy, that you're making sure that you put in the maximum effort you can to make it work for you. So it could be something as simple as maybe you don't feel like you've got enough income at the moment from your main job. It could be suggesting that if you've got some free time where, you haven't got to spend your family time or anything else, free leisure time, but you've got more leisure time than you need, could you do some overtime? Could you set your own business up? Could you get a second job? It's not saying that you should be overworking. It's not saying that you should be doing anything that's going to cause you a lot of stress and put you out of balance. It's just suggesting that you make sure that you're maximising everything that you do. So it could be that you feel that you're not getting paid the right amount of money for your job that you work in. Either find a new job where you get the money that you're being paid or that you should be getting paid, or ask for a pay rise. And if you're not getting a pay rise, again, find a new job where you're getting the money that that you should be getting paid. It could be simply something like, if you're, maybe you've got a hobby that you've turned into a sale strategy of, I don't know, maybe you're selling things on Etsy or eBay, or, and you've got this hobby that you like to do, as well as sitting there doing it while you're watching the telly in the evenings as you're chilling out. Could it be something where you might take 10 minutes to make a quick short, put it on YouTube, or, in Facebook Reels or something like that? Because you might be able to get another form of income stream from advertising it when you get enough followers. Could it be something as simple as, if you're not doing it while you're chilling out, I mean, I don't know about a lot of you, but I've got a lovely habit of, I like to crochet, and I can do that while I'm watching the telly. There's certain things you can do, so you can multitask but not realise you're multitasking at the same time. So it's making sure that you're maximising whatever it is that you're doing. Right, now let's get you an Angel of Abundance card, and we'll also get you a Whispers of the Ocean as well, to see if there's any more messages Spirit would like to give. But yeah, very much whatever it is that you are going to be doing, though, whatever it is that you do to maximise your resources, to put in that effort, make sure that it's working for you. You will be recognised for it. You might not see that you're being recognised for it, and that could cause you some potential misunderstandings, but I think it's more that it'll affect you, because it's nice to be recognised for the efforts that you're putting in, and if you're not being recognised, it can make you feel disheartened, like, what's the point? So that could be more of your challenge, the fact that you don't know that you're being recognised, but it is telling me that you are going to be recognised for everything that you're doing, for all the effort that you're putting in. Right, so we've got pay yourself first and visualise abundance in all forms. So pay yourself first, then make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you have savings to invest in your present and your future. And then visualise abundance in all forms. God gave you such great spiritual power that everything you visualise eventually becomes reality. Hold a steady vision of that which is beautiful, healthful, I think that's supposed to be helpful, but healthful, positive, and filled with blessings. And that is what you will experience. They've got healthful on a few of these cards. I don't know if it's just a translation issue or whether it's actually supposed to say healthful. I suppose it could just be that you should be, making sure that you're looking after your body as well as your mind and your spirit, and being healthy. Right, so let's get you Whispers of the Ocean. So we've got leaping through the air. You've got some beautiful flying fish on there. A plan you have made is on track. If you are waiting for something, get to work and stop putting off ideas or projects. You are... there's so tiny, the writing on these. Right, so a plan you've made is on track. If you're waiting for something, get to work and stop putting off ideas or projects you are considering. Right, there we go. Oh, they could have been done with being like 4 times the size, but they are really pretty. Got some beautiful, beautiful ocean animals on these. Absolutely beautiful cards. Anyway, right. I hope you enjoyed your reading today, Virgo. I do wish you all the luck with sorting out your finances or improving them. Like I say, if you did enjoy the reading today, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And don't forget to check out the playlists if you want to hear more at any point and it's not that time of the week for a reading to have been put up yet. But yeah, good luck, and thank you for joining me.